Want to improve in photography? Follow these 2 rules and I guarantee you your photography will improve in no time. What's up, y'all? It's a Project Photography back with another video, and today, people, we're gonna be talking about how you can improve your photography in 2 simple rules. And in general, I just want to put out there that people in photography like to follow simple, easy tips. They like quick fixes for things that take expertise and years of practice to really develop. This video is nothing like that. I'm gonna give you guys a hard truth on how to improve photography, and it takes time. If you guys are in the market for quick tips, how to get better instantly, like that, then this definitely isn't the video for you. But if you want to stick around for the long haul and want to improve long term, then this video is right for you guys. So I've been reading this book called Bounce by Matthew Syed, and this is an absolutely great book. It talks about the science of success and what it takes to be successful, and it's kind of inspired me to make a video about this subject. And in one of my previous videos, I talked about the 3 ways to drastically improve your photography, and one of those things was practice. I emphasized practicing a lot, and that was before I started reading this book, and I just want to come back to that topic because within this book, it really taught me what exactly it means to be successful and what steps you need to take to be successful. Talked about the likes of the Williams sisters, who are some of the best tennis players to ever touch a tennis racket, Tiger Woods, and just a plethora of other success stories, and how they were able to cultivate success. And I want to take those theories and ideas and bring them to photography, especially because a lot of people want quick fixes to their photography rather than taking the long-term, long road down and trying to improve their photography over time. I think it's a culture that we perpetuated among our photography society, and just the fact that people want easy solutions to difficult problems. Of course, there's gonna be simple tips to improve it, but at the end of the day, it takes long, hard, long-term practice. So I just want to start this video by saying there's 2 rules that go into getting better photography, or just getting better at anything in general. The first one is quantity of hours put into practice. The second one is quality of hours put into practice. You want purposeful hours drilled into you so that you're able to gain expertise and knowledge and really excel at your craft. So let's talk about the first one, quantity of hours, or how many hours do you really need to be an expert at something. The general rule is 10,000 hours. You need 10,000 hours to have a certain expertise in something. And if you expand it over a 10-year period, that's about 1,000 hours a year, which breaks down to about 3 hours a day. That's a lot of hours. And in photography, no one's really gonna go out and shoot for 3 hours every single day. That's a lot. That's kind of unprecedented if you do that. And if you do that, you will definitely get better. But I think just in general, spending 3 hours a day on photography related things, like maybe watching videos or editing your photos, or actually going out and shooting and thinking about the theory of photography, doesn't necessarily have to be 3 hours of just shooting at the field. It could be 3 hours of doing a combination of those things. And the quantity of hours is extremely important, mainly because the more hours you put in, the better you're gonna get. It's as simple as that. And within the book, there were 3 sets of violin players, and they analyzed these children at a very young age, and they found that there are 3 main levels. There are the pretty expert level, well, they're not experts, but the best level, who would go on to be solo violinists, and those who were at the top of their class. And the middle people were those who were very good at playing the violin, don't get me wrong, but they were the ones that were going to go play in orchestras, might not get solo positions. And then the bottom level were those that were going to be music teachers. They're going to be the ones who kind of teach their craft. But the thing is, what separated all 3 of those levels was quantity of hours practice. The people at the top level versus the middle level spent about 2,000 more hours. And that difference between the middle and the bottom level, you guessed it, was about 2,000 more hours. It had everything to do with quantity of hours practice. And that's super important, something I want to iterate. This book talks a lot about the talent myth. Born with talent is simply a myth. How can you be born with talent? That's just insane. How can you be born and just know how to do something? That just doesn't add up. And I think a lot of people in photography, we see other people's work and we're like, how do we get there? It seems so implausible. And we say, oh, they're just born with this natural talent. And it is absolutely not true. Mainly because, first of all, you can't be born with talent. Talent isn't a gene. Like, no one was just born and suddenly they're good at soccer, per se. When you look at what went into creating that photo, creating that final image. You saw that went to hours of practice beforehand, before actually going on to that shoot. It took hours of practice, hours of on the location shoot, hours of editing, and it took all this expertise and knowledge to come out with that final product. So when you really dissect how that photo was made, it's not as impressive as saying, oh, they're just super talented. And it really just boils down to the amount of hours practice. It's pretty simple. The more hours you put in, the better you'll do. Let's talk about sports for a second. If a kid started playing, let's just say baseball at the age of 3, whereas another kid started playing baseball at the age of 6, and they both turned 9, the kid who started playing baseball at 3 is going to be twice as good. Well, not necessarily twice as good exactly, but they had twice as many hours practice as a kid who started playing at 6 years old. And that is simple math. And the fact that people seem to think that the kid who was born at 3 just had this special talent, was born with special abilities, and that's simply not true. There is a strong correlation between hours practice and the level of expertise, and photography is the same way. When you look at people that have been practicing photography for years upon years, their skills are going to be better than other people's skills. That's just how it's gonna be. The more experience you have something, the more knowledge you're gonna have in it, and obviously the more experience you're gonna have. So the more things you're gonna understand, more things you're gonna know. This is huge because it just shows that you can get good at photography, not just by having some special talent, but rather having this growth mindset and continuing to get better and having those hours in and clocking those hours in. So that's really important. So that's the first step to really improving your photography. And the second part that I iterated is purpose. You want purposeful quality practice. And there's an example that is used in the book where he talks about you can have the quantity of hours practice, but if you don't have the quality, it doesn't matter. Take driving, for example. Most of us have driven a car for years upon years, and some of us have driven our entire lifetime. But think about it, have you really gotten better at driving? The answer is most likely not. You most likely have not improved in driving, mainly because you're on autopilot. And if you're on autopilot, you're not thinking about how can I improve? How can I get better at driving? You just kind of go through the motions. Photography is no different. You can't go out and clock in the hours but have no purpose to it. It's called purposeful practice. You have to not only try to outdo yourself at every single shoot, but you have to say, what am I doing to make myself better? What mistakes am I making? How can I improve them? What am I doing right, and what can I use for further shoots? The purpose of practice is super important. That's where the quality comes in. Getting to a level of expertise is extremely hard in any sort of craft. I don't care if you're doing sports, art, photography, anything. To be an expert at something is extremely hard. Photography is absolutely no different. You have to put the purposeful quality hours in. Look at what other people are doing and kind of look at their perspective into it and see what can I take from that? How are they doing that? What can I learn? And that's a big reason why on my channel I emphasize on location shoots and have me talking over it, because I want to give you guys my thought process into photography and what I am taking out of it, and you guys can hone in on a different perspective such as mine. And at the end of the day, you want to get in those purposeful hours. I keep iterating this. It's about quantity of hours and purposeful quality hours as well. If you do something absent-mindedly, it's not going to translate into better expertise and experience. And a lot of times when we are very good, or when we are sufficient in our fields, we like to just kind of lay back and let autopilot do its thing. But if you want to succeed, if you want to do better than where you are now, you have to go out there and put quality hours in. That's the only way to do it. And I think a lot of people kind of fall into this trap of just doing the same old thing, because once they reach a certain level, like, oh, I don't need to improve anymore. I'm at where I'm at. But in reality, art is not limited by a ceiling. It has unlimited, uncapped potential. And I think absolutely anybody can go out there and learn photography. It's just a matter of how many hours you put in and the purposeful hours you get out of it. And at the end of the day, anyone can get good at photography. It just depends how willing you are to improve your photography. Quantity and quality. That's the two rules that you have to take into photography to get better. And it's not easy. Like the 10,000 hour rule takes 10 years. I've only been doing this for like 4 years. So it's not the easiest thing to do, I know, but if you want to improve photography, that's really only the easy way out. And a lot of people like to use easy solutions, and in photography, it's super easy to find quick tips on how to fix your photography, and they might help improve here and there, but in reality, it doesn't knock off the experience, knowledge, and skill that really go into the hours of purposeful practice. And yeah, this is kind of an interesting thing. And one quote that I want to leave you guys with in of this book, Balance, is this: expertise is a long-term developmental process resulting from rich instrumental experiences in the world and extensive practice. These simply cannot be handed to someone. And that's why I really have a problem with quick fixes in photography. They just simply don't make up for expertise. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me, y'all. What do y'all think about this idea? I want to have this comment section as a platform discussion. That's really what my channel is about, discussing these things and really bouncing ideas off each other, because change in perspective is really what's important in photography if you really want to dive into changing things up or really improving your photography as well. So yeah, let me know what y'all think of this video. Let me know what y'all think down in the comment section down below. Comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.